Hello guys, Shia here. I have decided to make a follow-up video to my gear tuning guide because of the massive changes that got announced in the latest patch notes. I'm quickly gonna go over the most important points while also showing you examples of how the new systems will look like once they get released. The biggest change is gonna be called relaying or modulating your gear, which you can see on the screen how it looks like. With this system, we will be able to level up our gear to the next tier by preserving all of the stats that we have along with their values, which we can then raise by infusing upgraded gear pieces from that next tier. The same system can also be used on pieces that have already been the higher tier. Of course, this means that the max cap of each value is gonna be lowered, but if we had a piece that rolled extremely good stats for us, which were unluckily low value, we can now pump those stats higher with the new system. On the piece that you can see on the screen right now, we also see what happens if the original stat values were higher than the new modulated cap. The red numbers shows how much they will be lowered, because this is going to be the new modulated cap after we transform the piece. Pumping the stat is done through the tuning system by selecting the stat and then infusing an upgraded legendary piece of the same tier. This will effectively recycle the piece, giving us back the tuning stones and the gear echo. We will be able to obtain these relay stones through the solo mode breakthrough, which will give us 2 each. Then we will also be able to get 8 of them through the leisure menu. And lastly, we will be able to buy them with fish from the season shop. I'm not sure what the weekly cap will be, but hopefully this will be enough for us to upgrade all of our gear to the next tier as soon as it comes out. Golden shells will also now be craftable, and all we will need for them is 3 purple shells. This, along with the fact that every 60 energy will now guarantee a random shell, is going to make gear tuning much easier. The initial stat we get on the gear when we unbox it is also going to have much lower chance of bad stats like max HP or body, which will result in a higher chance of getting stats like crit, precision, affinity or power. Here we can also see a piece that has already been retuned, but because the 7-day cooldown is over, we can attempt again. This, along with the new stat pool, is going to make it much easier for us to get a perfect piece that we always wanted. Looking through the affix preview menu, it is also very clear which stats are even possible to get, and by browsing through other specs, we can maybe even find one that will have more favorable results for us than our main spec. This will make it very easy to decide how to reroll, even without the calculator. Another big change that is coming is going to be the attunements that are possible to get. More specifically, they are removing all attribute penetration attunements and they are replacing them with formless penetration. This penetration will work on all attributes, and while physical is still going to be better, at least it's going to be easier to get something that's decent. Another thing with attunement rerolling is that after a certain amount of attempts, we will be able to select the specific attunement that we want. The value will still be random, but at least this way we can guarantee to get exactly what we want, and with the new update, every time we get a duplicate attunement, it's also guaranteed to be higher than before. Another big change is that we will also be able to transfer the attunement from one piece to another. This will preserve all of the historical attunements that we get from it as well, and it's going to cost 2 attunement stones and 2 attunement reattuning stones. Bows and rings will also now be guaranteed legendary after a certain amount of crafts, and on top of that there will be 3 different set effects providing either precision, critical or affinity. There are also some miscellaneous changes that I quickly want to mention, which is basically lower gold costs on gear tuning, tuning filters that will make it easier to tune fast, and the last one is going to be longer duration on the same gear tier. You can read the patch notes to see exactly what they mean with that, but essentially we will be keeping the same gear for longer now, so people who enjoy min-maxing their gear are gonna have an easier time making everything perfect. I would also like to take this chance to thank everybody for supporting this channel all this while. I have almost reached 1000 subscribers, which is honestly crazy to me because initially I started making these videos just to help some friends out, but your continued support has made me push forward, and I hope I can keep making videos that you guys enjoy so much to watch. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.